I'm going to try to make this really quick because I really don't feel like doing a lot of video editing tonight and it's really late. I would like to talk about, again, I believe I did another video about the Sandman versus the Thinking Ape or Barbarossa Stardust. So again, I guess last week or a few days ago or whatever, I guess it's blowing up, it's starting to blow up again. And I just want to share my opinions. When I think about, it just seems like now the MGTOW community now it's like Sandman versus MGTOW. And I just want to say, if at least for me, and I'm pretty sure for a lot of you other MGTOWs, if it wasn't for Sandman, for me, if it wasn't for Sandman, I would not be introduced to MGTOW. If it wasn't for Sandman, I wouldn't be subscribed to the Thinking Ape and Barbarossa. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys, it's the same thing. I really don't understand why I really don't understand why you guys are attacking him. Well, somewhat I kind of do. Like my last video, I believe a big part of the criticism is he's not, I guess, citing his sources or explaining why or how he came up with his conclusions. And again, with my last video, I sort of agree with that. And, you know, I agree with that. But, you know, just listening to Barbarossa and the Thinking Apes, their videos, they kind of do the same themselves. Maybe they do a much better job with citing their sources or explaining why they believe or why they've come up with their conclusions. But they, make no mistake, they are guilty of the same thing that Sandman does. Maybe not to the same degree, but they are guilty too. And I believe, you know, the Thinking Ape and Sandman, they are very smart and intellectual MGTOWs, but I don't agree with everything in their views. For example, it is beyond me how, you know, when I first was introduced into the MGTOW community or to MGTOW, I was led to believe that, you know, there's like this community of men that just stay away or avoid women or females. So it's just beyond me how those two, or especially Barbarossa, I believe Thinking Ape, he doesn't get involved in female relationships, but it is beyond me how you could just, at least the way I was introduced to MGTOW, because I listened to a lot of videos, and some of the early YouTubers, MGTOW channels, they would just talk about how they would just avoid women at work, no relationships and whatnot. So it's beyond me how you could have Barbarossa just contradict, and Thinking Ape, just contradict MGTOW, basic MGTOW things. And I don't want to get into an argument or discussion about, you know, dating or interacting with females or whatever. But to me, that's just basic MGTOW stuff. And two of the biggest pillars in the MGTOW community are contradicting that. But whatever. Real quick, Sandman, I would compare Sandman to, let's say, Gerber. If you're not from the U.S. or, you know, in the U.S., Gerber is a huge company, and they make they make toys and other stuff, but they primarily make food for children, like baby food, and also baby merchandise and whatever. But in America, Gerber makes baby food. And I believe most of us in this country, when we were babies, we ate Gerber baby food. If you lived outside the country or the USA, just swap Gerber with whatever the major baby food brand you ate. Now, again, I would compare Sandman to Gerber baby food. When you were young, you were introduced to food. You ate Gerber. First it was breast milk, and then it was Gerber, or formula. Then it was Gerber. Now that we're older and more mature, if you ate baby food, if you consumed that baby food, you would think it was terrible. Correct? It would be terrible. Terrible. So just imagine you eating baby food right now and you're criticizing it. Of course it's not going to taste good. Of course you're not going to like it. Of course you're not going to have that flavor. Sure, maybe Gerber can make baby food, pureed steak or something, or pureed chicken Alfredo, or pureed candy Sour Patches, or whatever you like to eat, cheeseburgers or something like that. And maybe they kind of already do. And even if they did do that, you would eat it in that baby food form, it would still probably taste terrible. So what do we do? What do you do now? You don't eat baby food. You eat solid food. You move on. You don't sit there and criticize baby food. You don't criticize Gerber. You move on. You moved on. Again, Sandman is not perfect, but he, like TurdFlingingMonkey suggested, he serves a purpose. He's Gerber. He's Gerber baby food. So it is beyond me. Why is the community attacking him? Let Sandman do what he does. Let him do what he does. He's introducing people or men to the community. Leave him off. Am I saying that the criticisms that are directed towards him are baseless? No. To a certain degree, kind of, yeah. But I agree, his sources or his ideas, whatever. But Barbarossa, to me, these guys, even though they're really smart and intellectuals, they do have some major flaws. And, I don't want to go into it. This video is getting long enough. I don't want to get into it. But they have some very flawed ways of thinking. And also the contradictions that they do when they contradict themselves with certain things. And I believe they're very smart and articulate, but I do believe that they seduce the MGTOW community with their words, their big words that they use. Me personally, I'm not the most articulate person. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm not the most articulate person. I don't have the hugest vocabulary. I'm not the smartest person. But I do believe that they are seducing. They're using their snake charm to charm the community. And I'm a MGTOW, but I'm also a Christian. So I see myself as a Christian MGTOW. And their views, some of their views, are very flawed from a Christian standpoint. And I'm pretty sure they would say, because I'm a Christian, I'm crazy or whatever. But they are, I appreciate their contributions to the MGTOW community. Like I said, they're very smart and articulate, but they have some very big flaws in their thinking. Like for example, one of the things in the MGTOW and Gamergate community that bothers me is they keep talking about the religious fanatics. Are there religious fanatics? Yes, but they keep talking about religious fanatics and calling Christians and people that believe in God. Not that I don't recognize those other religions, but they keep calling us fanatics, and then they keep comparing this radical feminism to Christian fanatics. Well, the problem with that is like, if Christians were the only, or people that believe in God were the only fanatics, how come it's being displayed by a community, the feminist community, that is not Christian? It is a heathen or ungodly community. So that should tell you that maybe it's not Christians or people that believe in God. It's not them that are. It's not Christians or people that believe in God that are fanatics. It's being displayed in the polar opposites. So maybe it's a human thing. Maybe this fanaticism, it's not a religious thing. It is a human thing. If it's being shown up, if it's showing up in feminism, that should tell you right there it's not a religious thing. It's not a Christian thing or whatever. But I'll try to go to that. I'll go more into that in another video. Actually, this video is actually getting longer than I actually wanted to be. But yeah, I just wanted to share my opinions. Again, this Sandman versus MGTOW, leave him alone. Sandman, he's baby's food. He's Gerber. You would not criticize Gerber for the way their baby food tastes, because one, you don't eat it, and even if you did eat it, you would look like a moron criticizing baby food. It's not meant for you. It's not designed for you. You have moved on. You need more solid food. And it's okay to leave Sandman behind. Now, I admit, even though from time to time I do view or watch some of his latest videos, but that's because, I don't watch TV and I consume a lot of YouTube. So a lot of times I need something to watch. And so I'll listen to his videos. But I've personally moved on a bit from Sandman, and that's okay. But you guys really need to stop fighting with each other, and just move on. It's not a big deal. So that's pretty much it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, follow, give us a thumbs up, and leave your opinions on the video. I'll see you guys later.